Elderflower liqueur is a wonderfully versatile cocktail ingredient. Gin and tonic, champagne or even an old fashioned, and it'll only make it better. Rare is the cocktail that doesn't improve. But not everyone can get their hands on a bottle of St-Germain. I don't even have one, by the way. So today, as I've long promised, I'll show you how to make a delicious homemade elderflower liqueur using dried elderflowers. It won't be an exact clone of any big commercial brand, though to be fair, those don't taste exactly like each other either. What you will get is a bolder, richer flavor at a fraction of the cost, and honestly, I think it tastes way better. And I'll also test how this homemade version performs in cocktails, or my name isn't Dr. Cork. I've always wondered, why do brands like St-Germain, Marie Brizard, Bols, Giffard, De Kuyper and others all use elderflowers and not elderberries? Because elderberry liqueurs are very rare. Sambuca originally used elderberries, but then anise took over the spotlight. A fun fact, sambucus is Latin for elder. Elderberry liqueurs seem like a rare, niche product. I suspect it's because of the berries that have rather a peculiar flavor, not for everyone, and some varieties are straight up poisonous. Get it wrong, and you're not making a cocktail, you're making a trip to ER. Elderflowers, on the other hand, have a soft, floral, honeyed, slightly citrusy flavor that most people love. But if you have experimented with elderberries, drop your comment down below. I'd like to hear about that. Now let's make some liqueur. First, grab dried elderflowers. They are available all over the internet. Just make sure there's nothing else in the mix, only elderflowers. Measure out 8 grams and, if you're feeling fancy, pick out the little twigs and leaves so you're left with just the blossoms. Not mandatory, but I find it reduces unwanted flavors. Toss the elderflowers into a jar. A funnel would make this easier, but where's the fun in doing it the easy way? Next, peel half a medium lemon. Try to get just the yellow part, none of that white pith. I ended up with 4 strips. Toss them into the jar too. Don't overdo it, we don't need the lemon to take over the flavor. Now for the alcohol. 350 ml of vodka, or about 1.5 cups. You could use gin for extra botanicals, but I haven't tried that yet. Some might suggest using high-proof spirit, but I prefer vodka. It's easier to find and work with at home. Just pick the one that's as clean and as neutral as possible, nothing weird in there besides water and alcohol. Seal the jar, give it a good shake, and store it in a cool, dark place for at least a week. 2 is even better. Dried elderflower takes time to give up its flavor, so the longer the infusion, the deeper the taste. But don't forget to give a jar a shake every now and then to keep things moving. Mine's been infusing for a week, and as you can see, the liquid's noticeably darker. Time to strain it. We're doing a double filtration, first through a mesh strainer to catch the big stuff, then through a damp coffee filter for a clean, clear result. You can skip the mesh, but you'll be watching the coffee filter drip like a snail running a marathon. You'll end up with a lovely golden liquid, crystal clear, dark amber, beautiful. Now for the sweet part. Make a simple syrup using 1:1 ratio of sugar to water, or go for a 2:1 rich simple syrup if you like it sweeter. Heat until the sugar dissolves and then mix it in with the infused vodka, but let it cool to a warm temperature first. All in all, we're aiming for about 500 ml, half a liter of finished liqueur. I probably should have mentioned that earlier. Anyway, full recipe details are in the description on the thedrcork.com. One last thing we need is acidity. Most elderflower liqueurs have a slight tartness to balance the sweetness. You've got 2 options. Squeeze the juice from the same lemon you peeled, about 10 to 12 ml, and filter it thoroughly. Mesh, paper coffee filter, cheesecloth, everything you got. Otherwise you'll get sediment and cloudiness. Or use citric acid, which is my preference. Measure out 1 gram, 1.5 grams maximum, and be careful not to overdo it. We're not making lemonade, we're just balancing the flavor. Ideally, you'd dissolve it in the syrup while it's still warm, but hey, we missed that train, just shake the bottle until everything dissolves. We're almost done, but now comes the hardest part, waiting again. Let the flavors melt by stashing the bottle back in the dark place for at least a week, 2 weeks in the fridge if you can spare the patience. And finally, after all this effort, 99% of which was just waiting, but good things come to those who procrastinate, your homemade elderflower liqueur is ready. It's lovely, it's golden. It doesn't look like St-Germain or even Marie Brizard, but that's not the point. Pour into tasting glasses, mine here and Marie Brizard here. Okay, the obvious difference is in the color. Mine is better. I feel the notes of elderflower, a little bit of citrus. a little bit of vodka. Maybe I should have used a better vodka because I still can smell it a little bit. Oh, but the taste is great. It has a little bit of that acidity. It should be there, but it's somehow warmer, maybe a little bit less fresh than the store-bought one. It's more one note, but that note sounds louder. It's much sweeter, a little bit more acidic even. It's almost like a lemonade, elderflower lemonade without the gas and with alcohol. It almost coats the mouth. Not a bad one. The Marie Brizard is like a standard one, not the best and not the worst. But I don't like it very much compared to this one. Oh. They are quite different tasting, but mine is much better. And we know for sure that this one is made with love and passion. And this one, just for the money. Just business, nothing personal. For added complexity, you can try adding a small piece of vanilla bean during the steeping process, or half an ounce or 15 ml of pear eau de vie at the end if available. Store it in the fridge like all homemade infusions, and it'll easily last for 6 months to a year, or maybe more. Now let's make some cocktails with elderflower. First of all is Elderflower Gin Tonic, because elderflower makes gin and tonic even more better than other cocktails. In a glass, it's a highball. Add gin, regular London Dry, 1.5 ounce 45 ml. Now add our homemade Elderflower Liqueur, half an ounce 15 ml. And a little bit of lime juice, I'd say about 7.5 ml or a quarter ounce. Filter with a fine strainer. Fill the glass with ice. Stir a little to chill, dilute and mix everything up. And top up with tonic water. Do you know what tonic it is? It's tonic. But who cares? It's not a tonic water competition. Stir a little more. And garnish with a lime wheel. Time to taste this one. It's a regular gin and tonic with elderflower. I think that the problem is tonic, because it's kind of bland and shitty. But the elderflower taste is great. It's nice. It just lacks the bitterness of a good tonic. Why did I buy this one? I don't know. Because I'm a cheapskate, I guess. I hope you enjoy watching my videos as much as I enjoy making them for you. Hit like if you do, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. And if you want to take our relationship to the next level, I've got merch now. Original, cocktail-inspired t-shirts and other stuff designed for fellow drink nerds. Feel free to grab one or a few. They ship worldwide, and every order helps me keep this whole thing going. Links down below. Thanks very much. And I'm also on Patreon and offer YouTube memberships if you'd rather support this way. Next up is Elderflower Old Fashioned, which is an unusual variation on the Old Fashioned, but everything goes in an Old Fashioned. And also my darker, maybe less fresh variation on the Elderflower Liqueur, I think will work best with bourbon or some other aged spirit. So we'll take an Old Fashioned glass, to which I'm gonna add our homemade Elderflower Liqueur, half an ounce, 15 ml, orange bitters, 2 dashes, and regular Angostura bitters, 1 dash. I'm not gonna use bourbon today, I'm using Irish whiskey, but you can use whatever you like. Today I prefer Irish whiskey, 2 ounces, 60 ml. Stir a little, fill the glass with ice, and stir for about 15 seconds to chill, dilute, and marry all the flavors. A traditional orange peel, express the oils, and garnish with it. And here it is, the Elderflower Old Fashioned. Citrusy, thanks to the peel. It's almost whiskey, but with additional sweetness and bitterness of our bitters. A man's cocktail, But I like it. Everything depends on your choice of whiskey, bourbon, rye, Irish, maybe even Scotch, but I don't advise that. The one problem I see is that my liqueur has a little bit less sugar than, for example, Marie Brizard. And so this cocktail is a little bit less sweet. But you can always add 5 ml more or something like that. But it's in balance. It's just a strong cocktail, which it should be. A funny story. Not that long ago, on April 1st this year, I decided to play a prank on the viewers of my other channel and did a mock advertisement for the psychic grandmother Martina, who of course didn't exist. I even found some image, AI'd my friend's face on it and animated this picture, and I also made a website where everything was explained pretty clearly. I thought the fact that any kind of clairvoyance, mysticism, fortune-telling and other paranormal shit is a scam was obvious to everyone, but I allowed for the possibility that some particularly gullible people might fall for it. And they did, although to be fair, there weren't that many of them. Nevertheless, some people unsubscribe, which I don't really mind, but ever since then I've wanted to make a themed cocktail, and now that day has come. So, Babushka Martina, also known as the mystic's possession, for example. It's somewhat bothersome to make, because first you need to make simple butterfly pea flower tea. Its main purpose is to be blue and a little bit purple, so it's actually pretty easy. Just take 1 tablespoon of dry butterfly pea flowers, you can find them in Asian grocery stores or online, and add 1 cup of hot water, about 200 ml. The water shouldn't be boiling, just hot. Let it steep for 10 minutes, and as you can see, the color of the liquid becomes bluer and bluer every minute. Then strain everything using a fine strainer, and that's it. Not that hard, actually. This magical cocktail is shaken. And to the shaker I'm gonna add gin, 2 ounces 60 ml, our homemade elderflower liqueur, 1 ounce 30 ml, freshly squeezed lemon juice, 3/4 ounce 22 ml, a little bit of lavender simple syrup, half an ounce 15 ml, and that's it for now. Fill the shaker with ice and shake it vigorously, dedicating the shake to this comment. Now take our crystal ball or pробирка flask and fine strain the cocktail. I didn't find my see-through glass funnel, so I'm sorry for using this ugly one. And add just a little bit, a couple of drops of our blue tea. Do you see the difference? And look at this. Nothing's happened. Magic! And garnish with a lemon wedge. Let's try it. Surprisingly good. A bit too sweet, but not bad to look at. I was hoping for something more magical. Almost like a gimlet, which it is. It's like a lavender, elderflower gimlet. Not bad. Maybe I should have used a little bit of soda or something like that, because it's a bit too sweet on the other side of balance. For me, but some people prefer it this way, so who am I to judge? I'm not a psychic after all. That's all I have to say for today. Try to make your own elderflower liqueur. Maybe you have some tips and tricks which I don't know, so tell me in the comments. And all the recipes are in the text form on my website, thedrcork.com. Link is down below. Don't forget about my Patreon, about my t-shirts, about YouTube membership and all that stuff. Drink responsibly, and as always, Dosvidos. В огороде Бузина, в Киеве, дядька. Or 15 ml or half an ounce of pear eau de vie at the end of, if available at the end. Pear eau de vie in the end of, if available.